sector. Find out all that we do at businessofcannabis.com. Coming up on BofC Live, we connect with Brian Bain. He is the CEO of Mother Labs. They are a cannabis nursery based in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. They recently completed a shipment to South Africa of tissue culture, and we want to connect with him about that and a little bit about the company as well. This is Brian Bain, CEO of Mother Labs. Brian, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
I always like when people wear the branding on the actual show because and I love the branding. Actually, talk about the branding because it says Mother on your hat. Mother Labs is the name of the company. Talk about sort of what you do, and then I guess the thought that obviously I think the thought will be easy about why you named it Mother. But talk a little bit about the company.
Yeah, the company, obviously we're a nursery. We started out about 2 years ago now. We've just hit our 2-year mark. We're a nursery, but the name Mother really stems from us really building a company around the needs of our clients, such as a mother might. We take care of the industry. It's kind of the goal that we have moving forward. And we've kind of built our entire business model around taking care of the industry. And that's really, the essence of where Mother comes from. And yeah.
So talk a little about the nursery part of the industry, because I think early days in the cannabis sector is like everybody wanted to do everything, and as we've developed, or the industry's developed over the past 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 years, it's really like there's more specified roles for different companies to do exactly what they do it the best, and serve that sort of slice. Talk a little about the slice you serve as a nursery.
Sure. Yeah, the industry started off thinking that they were different from every other agricultural industry. And so I think, we kind of took a different approach where we figured this is going to turn back around to commercial ag. And in every other agricultural, floriculture, every other industry really that's revolved around horticulture, nurseries exist and supply exists, and no one is fully vertically integrated because it's too cumbersome. So for us, early on, 3-4 years ago, I saw this as we came from traditional ag, and we just, built a company around helping the industry evolve and maybe helping them see their own needs and explain it and walk through with them. And yeah.
Talk a little bit about the facility, actually, because
sure,
as you've been talking, more sort of tractor trailers have gone by than I've seen in a long time. Talk a bit about you're in Saskatchewan, but talk a little bit about sort of the facility and where you are.
Sure, we're in North End, Saskatoon, very conveniently located in what I like to say in the central of Canada. We can distribute to east, west, everywhere in between. But we are in the north end of the city in a commercial complex. We're an industrial mall. We have a 6,000 square foot facility that has been built out for about 18,000 square feet of operating space. So it's vertical growing. We go 24 feet tall, 8 to 10 racks, and we have multiple floors. So we've built a very condensed facility that's extremely purpose built. We're just doing an expansion right now, adding another 6,000 square feet of base space. That'll bring us up to almost 40,000 square feet of operating capacity. About 5xing our production. In about a month and a half, it'll be coming online. But we're essentially situated in the north end of the city, and yeah.
And talk about because we got a note that you are distributing tissue culture to South Africa, but there's a lot that goes into all of those things. Talk a little bit about tissue culture for those. I, of course, know all the details because I saw the release, but talk a little bit about what tissue culture is for the newly initiated in the industry.
Sure. Traditionally, the industry is taking clones from others. That's kind of how the U.S. market's been built. Over time, again, we've taken from other agricultural industries. tissue culture has been around for many, many years. My TC Tech has been shipping fruits and vegetables around the world using TC for 18 years. So it's been around for a very long time, 100 plus years. It's not a new tech by any means, but we've brought it into cannabis. Tissue culture is essentially taking very small pieces of the plant material, taking away from the plant and growing it on an agar solution where the hormones and everything the plant essentially needs is provided in a very sterile environment. It's one of the tools we utilize to produce clean stock material. It allows us to essentially bring the plants down to a meristematic level, which means a very small level, a cellular level, and regrow it multiple times, ensuring that it's clean of pathogens, any viroids, viruses, any other issues that might accompany cannabis.
And talk a little about the genetics that you actually use this for, because on your website there's lots of great names of genetics, and ones that people know, of course. Talk a little bit about that. So you produce tissue culture of all these things, or just some of the products that you?
Yeah, right now we have over 130 living cultivars in our TC lab. So what we're attempting to do is build a very, very large germplasm. We have, let's say, 6,000 different cultivars in seed form. We'll be up to about 200 in the TC lab very shortly in living phenotype material. But genetics essentially is a big piece of what we do and why. And we're really here to act as biological asset managers and help move these genetics throughout the industry. We onboard genetics and we move them around to people that need them. And we do them in a very clean, sterile, with a clean, sterile method. So.
And of course, you were talking about being in Saskatchewan and shipping east and west, but recently you shipped offshore to South Africa. Talk a little bit about that process of like getting Health Canada approved to do that, but also sort of South Africa is like a destination, of course, and there's a market that's nascent there. But talk a little bit about how a company like yours, based in Saskatchewan, can get product to South Africa, but also what it means sort of beyond South Africa, like being able to produce great genetics, tissue cultures, and ship them around the world. Like, is that something Canada can and should lean into?
It's something Canada is leading into, and I think is actively running towards, and I think we are as well. I believe there's 9 active quotes we have for international deals currently with just us, and there's other nurseries as well exporting internationally. So there's definitely a big market for it. But for us in South Africa, it took about 6 months. We helped the government write SOPs on how to onboard and take in material. We did a lot of work to really work with the government to allow our products. Working with Health Canada as well. It was a process, obviously, getting the export license, but it took time, mostly time, a lot of time. Once we got there, the shipping of the product actually is not the difficult part. That's something we're very familiar with and we do on a daily basis, and we've been doing for years and years and years. So, that was exciting. But what it means for South Africa and Mother as well is, South Africa is really starting to boom. They need quality genetic material. They have lots, don't get me wrong. But this is an ability for them to update their germplasm and get some US, some Canadian genetics and kind of stay a little bit more current. Again, it's great for their economy. We really send plants and they're growing, distributing, and selling. We really don't have a lot to do with the process after the plants arrive. So it's great for their economy. And what it does for Mother Labs, it allows other companies and other people in different countries to see that we are capable of shipping internationally, that we know what we're doing again, and to kind of open those doors, because it's something that we're concentrating on heavily and we do very, very well. So
talk a little bit about that demand for the sort of genetics that you have in particular, but maybe Canadian companies have too, that they're consistent, they're clean, all the things you just talked about. Like, will that demand only, I assume it will, but will that demand only increase as the sort of world welcomes cannabis to their doors? Like, and like, how do we, I don't know, maintain that lead? I mean, obviously you're shipping genetics around the world, but talk a little bit about that, sort of maintaining that lead in this field.
Well, we have first movers advantage. So that's the big reason why, we're the first to export internationally, and why there's such a need for it from within Canada. We're going to continue to push forward with it just because, we have access to a very large array of genetics from the US, from, international markets. There's been a lot that's been brought into Canada over the years. And it's just something that, other countries aren't able to do. We have the regulatory side backing us. We've built a very exceptional business that people can trust. So that helps. But again, we're going to continue to race forward and continue to be a leader in the international export world. It's not what we're concentrating on. We're very concentrated on B2B domestic, supply. It's a main concentration. But like I said, it plays into our future goals for sure to run at the international side. And as we grow to be, biological asset managers, we're really a nursery, but what we do is we manage genetic assets. It kind of helps bring that to fruition. So
I like it. I like that. It's, I mean, well, what we talked about the first, like the industry is now, I don't know what the right word is, verticalized or specialized, right? Mm-hmm. As it should be, as you were saying, like every other agricultural crop in the world operates this way. You're doing it well. You're doing it in Canada. You're shipping around the country, mm-hmm. of course, but also around the world. I just love that it's a very compelling case for the legalization of cannabis in Canada and how Canada can lead the rest of the world in doing this, I think.
Team effort. Yeah. It's been a Canadian wide effort. Mother Labs can't, we're here. We've done a little bit, but there's been years and years and years of work put in, and we're just here to kind of put our spin on it, I suppose.
Well, it's been great learning about Mother. It's been great seeing you and meeting you and learning about the company. And we wish you nothing but success. And thank you for making time. And we'll connect with you down the road as things develop.
Thank you very much for your time, man.
Thanks.
Okay.
That was Brian Bain of Mother Labs. If you like this program, please subscribe to us wherever you get your podcasts to help support the work we do. We're able to do what we do because of our ongoing partners, including Alterna Savings, Cannabis at Work, Cannabis Benchmarks, Can Delta, Gallagher, Headset, and Torque and Mains. Find out all that we do at businessofcannabis.com.